Well, hi everybody. Good morning. Meteorologist Travis Kleneski here on this Friday morning after a second night in a row of severe weather. Last night it wasn't as widespread as the night before, but it was just as nasty for parts of Lincoln and Dawson County before dying off as it pushed south of the Tri-Cities. But we had some wind gusts that were over 70 miles per hour. In fact, an 87 mile per hour wind gust reported just west-northwest of Maxwell, Nebraska, which is just east of North Platte. But things much quieter this morning, and most of our day will be quiet with mostly sunny skies. Our focus will then turn to the north as we get towards this evening. You can see already some storms ongoing later this afternoon up north here, but for us it'll be fairly quiet. Storms are then going to push southward into our area tonight. Now, the big question right now is where exactly are we going to see the best chance of severe weather here as we head through the nighttime hours here. Some models, in fact, many of the models focus more on the eastern half or eastern third of the state for severe weather possibilities. But some models do have it all the way back to the west as well. So we have to even watch that threat here in central Nebraska. This will push south-southeastward during the evening and overnight hours tonight. Chances actually increase after midnight. We could see several rounds of this pushing through. So it may not just be one round, but 1, 2, maybe 3 rounds of severe weather. As we push past the post-midnight time frame, our chances increase. Again, especially in eastern Nebraska, but even back to the west as well, there's still that chance here. In fact, I'll back this up. Tri-Cities could get something, but chances could be pretty nasty to the east. This is a nice little line of storms, so wind gusts, a big threat. By tomorrow morning, maybe a little lingering activity, but the severe weather threat should be gone 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, taking us into a quieter day tomorrow. Breezy north and northwest winds on what should be a pretty nice Saturday overall. Now, the Storm Prediction Center, and I'll tell you right now, as of the time of this recording, the next update will be coming out in less than an hour. We'll see if this changes a little bit. As of right now, they have that enhanced risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center right in the north central part of the state. Would not be surprised if everything shifts eastward just a little bit with some of the latest forecast models I've been seeing. But some models do have the most intense storms possibly even in north central Nebraska, so we'll have to watch that as well. But really, I think these areas right here are going to be the most intense. And then the next areas that we'll have to watch for are these areas right here. So we have that enhanced risk up north. That's where the best chances of severe weather, but much of central and eastern Nebraska, at least a chance of severe weather. Chances much lower as you go to the southwest. So just overall, lower chances to the southwest, higher chances the farther east and northeast that you go. What kind of threat are we talking about? Well, first off, the primary threat, damaging wind gusts, possibly exceeding 70 miles per hour once again. So that's going to be the biggest threat during the overnight hours tonight, especially during the late night hours. And the reason I want to emphasize this is that we could be sleeping later tonight after midnight when these storms come through. So have that NOAA all hazards radio or some way of getting warnings to you. This does not mean there's a huge tornado risk, but we can still see damage to trees, even to homes and structures with those kind of winds. So it might be a good idea if you are in a severe thunderstorm warning tonight to seek shelter in a basement if you can, just because damage is still a possibility. There still is a chance of some hail. I think the bigger threat will be up in the Dakotas, with just a chance of some maybe 1 inch plus diameter hail here in Nebraska. And there's even a chance early on with some of those early storms up in north central and northeast Nebraska of maybe a couple of isolated tornadoes. But certainly the biggest threat during the late night, just like the last couple of nights, are going to be damaging wind gusts. Well, on to temperatures for the next couple of days. Well, today is going to be it's going to be humid later on this afternoon, upper 80s and lower 90s, but out west, mid and upper 90s and even some triple digits in the panhandle of Nebraska tonight, dropping back into the 60s for overnight lows. Tomorrow will be a little bit cooler behind that system. We're talking mid to upper 80s, a breezier north wind, maybe still some low 90s in southwest Nebraska. Look at Sunday morning. Sunday morning could be refreshing. Maybe open the windows up, 50s and lower 60s, upper 50s, lower 60s for overnight lows for Saturday night, Sunday morning. Sunday's still a really nice day, but we start to feel a little more heat again out west. The rest of us in the 80s, but you see some 90s building back in out towards the west. And then those 90s will spread eastward on Monday. So here's your weather ahead of us here. After tonight's storms, I think the weekend looks dry and mostly sunny for the most part. Monday, again, a little more heat building in ahead of another cold front, which will bring a slight chance of overnight storms for Monday night, early Tuesday morning. That'll cool us back for Tuesday and Wednesday. back down into the 80s for high temperatures. There still are some small chances of rain and thunderstorms there through the middle part of next week here. And then we'll start to build in a little more heat on Thursday. And in fact, that heat may continue to build in as we push towards the end of next week and the following weekend as we see the 90s return and stick around here. So we'll enjoy those cooler days in the 80s that we have a few of those there again over the weekend, and then again towards Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. So there's your forecast for today. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it. Talk to you all again on your Monday morning of next week. I hope you enjoy it. Have a good one. Bye.